There was a time when I laughed at the whole PC master race meme. I thought PCs were not as good as consoles. Consoles are just more convenient, they're cheaper, they're better. And while I guess you can't say for certain whether one side or the other is better, it's kind of just up to somebody's opinion. I now kind of cringe at my previous observations and opinions on PCs because now, while I do have an Xbox, I definitely am going to get a PC. I'm no longer ever going to get a console. And I'm not alone in this opinion. PCs are just becoming more and more relevant now than ever before. It is due to a ton of different factors, that is for certain. There's not just one thing that is making people want to go the PC route more than the console route. And I really have felt that these days it seems like besides Nintendo, and I suppose mobile games, besides those two outliers, you really can't find a game these days that you can't play on a PC. I mean, I guess technically you can play Nintendo games on PCs. But as far as officially, I mean, you can just play pretty much any game on PCs. These days, PC game development just kind of seems obvious. Like, why wouldn't you make a game for PC? Why would you only make it for console? That just makes no sense. And yes, I am referring to Rockstar. Yeah, PC players may not enjoy GTA 6 until like the year 2027. But yeah, my gut feeling of PC game development increasing over the years was actually more than just a feeling. So the State of the Game Industry 2025 was just released. Now, that is a report by GDC, or the Game Developers Conference, and that is a subsection of the overall Informa tech division. Now, obviously, as the name suggests, the State of the Game Industry is kind of just an annual report that talks about, surprise, the game industry. It is kind of like the Nerds State of the Union. I love it because it's just kind of interesting to see where things are headed, what the statistics look like. Now, there is a lot in this. I am going to link it in the description. The full report is behind a paywall, but you can kind of read the summary in the link that I am putting in the description. It is kind of nice. GDC kind of gives the TLDR of the entire report, so you really don't have to pay for it. So there's a lot of different topics they talk about. They talk about layoffs and how those continue to happen. They talk about AI and how developers are hesitant to work with this. They talk about live service games and the prevalence of them with AAA developers. A lot of different things, but one thing that stuck out to me was them talking about PC game development. So they did their survey this year and they compared it to the results of last year's survey, and it is actually crazy how much this number has increased in just a year. So I'm talking specifically about the number of developers that reported they are working currently on at least one PC title. Now, in 2023, that was 66% of developers, but in 2024, it has now risen to 80% of developers. It rose by 12%. So yeah, now 4 of every 5 game developers are developing for the PC. And they talked about why this could be. They talk about the Steam Deck, but obviously it could be a number of different things. There's a lot of great PC titles right now. Yeah, a lot of huge PC and Steam releases that you can't even play on console. And obviously it could be because of specs too. Obviously you can get better specs on PC. And I'm gonna be honest too, Xbox could be a pretty good factor in this as well. Xbox has kind of taken a sort of anti-Xbox approach as far as their console goes. Now, another thing they talked about with PC game development is actually, believe it or not, web browser games. They talked about how 16% of game developers are now developing a web browser game, and that's up from 10% the previous year, and they noted that right now there is the most interest in web browser games from developers in the past decade. I didn't know these were that popular, but maybe there is just a section of gaming that I'm kind of underestimating. I know about a month or two ago I talked about HTML5 games and how Play Gamma is a huge platform for these games, so there's definitely quite a bit of interest in that. So yeah, overall more developers than ever are interested now in PC development. It's crazy that it's risen by 12% in just a year. Now it is 80% of devs are working on PC titles. I know that it probably will never be 100% because you've still got Nintendo, but overall PC just seems to be a platform that continues to rise in popularity. I really don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.